and gift services are available both aboard this vessel and on the main level of the museum.
Hey guys, so this is going to be a different type of video. We're doing this video on New York. New York's actually a trip we did quite a while ago before we started, thinking about sharing our travels on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. It's actually one of our favorite trips though. We were there for 12 days and we did so much stuff and it was just such a great time. So we really wanted to put a video together and share it with you guys. So that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're gonna go through 3 different boroughs in New York. And there's over 20 different attractions and sites that we went to see. We're also going to show you where to stay and getting around, and also the best months to go, and also any links to the attractions that we do go to, like any shows and stuff, we will post in the description below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll also end the video with our honest opinion of New York.
So we ended up staying in Long Island. I actually have family out there. So we stayed with my aunt and my grandma. They're out in Long Island at Ronkonkoma. And so we actually trained into Manhattan every day and that took us about an hour. The best places to stay though, like cost-wise, are Brooklyn, which I think for a week in Brooklyn, it's about $1,500 to $2,000. And then if you want to stay in Manhattan proper, like right around Grand Central, you're probably looking at $2,000 to $2,500 a week. So it's, of course, the farther away you are from the city, the more affordable it is. The best time to go are April to June or September or October, just because in the wintertime, obviously New York's pretty cold, unless you want to go for Christmas. And then in the summertime, it can be like pretty stifling hot. So we went in May and the weather was perfect.
The next part is getting around. So New York is obviously famous for their gridlocks because their traffic is just insane there. So we definitely recommend taking the subway. It takes you to pretty much anywhere in Manhattan, and even outside of Manhattan, I think we took the subway pretty much everywhere we went. And then we walked everywhere. I think we did about 15 to 20,000 steps a day, and you don't even realize that you're walking that much.
And a lot of the times too, it was like, you could go down into the subway and it would take you 10 minutes, or you could walk through the city for 20 minutes. And we enjoy walking around and going into different shops, especially in New York, there's so much to see. So we did a lot of walking. We started off every day at Grand Central Station, and we spent about 2 to 3 days in just mid-Manhattan itself. And honestly, you could probably spend weeks there. There's so much to do, but some of the stuff we did was obviously, the really tourist stuff, Times Square, Central Park, the Museum of Natural History, kind of the standard tourist stuff that you see in any Instagram video, any movie or TV show. It's kind of what we did. My favorite thing was, one of my favorite things was the Museum of Natural History. I love museums, I love history, I love all that kind of stuff. So the other thing is Central Park is absolutely huge. We did not allocate enough time in Central Park. We spent maybe 1 day there. We tried to squeeze in Central Park with the museum, so we got to the park a little bit later, but also it's recommended you don't hang out in the park at nighttime too. So if I were you guys, carve out a decent amount of time for Central Park.
And my favorite thing was the Broadway show. New York is known for their Broadway show, so definitely check one out, or 2 if you can. I really wish we ended up going to a second one. We picked Moulin Rouge, but I think we were kind of tossing up Moulin Rouge or I think Lion King or Aladdin. I heard they're all really good shows though, so yeah, if you can, definitely buy tickets to see a Broadway show. They are amazing. So you can also go to Hudson's Yard, which is where the Edge observation deck is. And you can go to the vessel, which when we went, we weren't allowed to climb it, but I think now you're actually allowed to climb it partway up. So as far as observation decks go, we did go to the Edge in the daytime so we can have a daytime view of the city, and then we ended up choosing a different observation deck, which we'll show you for the evening time. We chose Summit 1 Vanderbilt for the evening because they have like an interactive kind of art like display in there. It was super cool. We didn't expect it. So when you first go in, they like have a thing that scans your face, and they didn't tell you what it was for, so we might be spoiling a little bit here. So we went in and you get to this big screen and there's like all these clouds, and apparently the face, when they scanned your face, they turn it into these clouds that kind of play on the screen. So that was fun. We kind of stood around waiting to see our faces, which I think we eventually did.
Yeah, that's us. Look, that's you. Look. That must have been me. Yeah, because that was you for sure.
It's kind of hard to tell. I think I saw Cheyenne's face. I'm not sure.
I think we did see her face. And then they also had, then the next level, they had the room filled with these super light, like foil balls that, you know, you can throw around, play with, and, you know, people are running around having a blast. And yeah, it was just a super cool, like, something to do other than just, you know, you're going up there, like, seeing the city, which is amazing, but you know, it was just fun. It was like a little playground.
Of course, the city looked beautiful at nighttime, and you know, the skyline's pretty crazy.
So that was my top. I mean, we only did the 2 observation decks, but I definitely like that one a lot. And there's also like obviously the Empire State Building, top of the Rock, Rockefeller Building, and then the World Trade Center. And yeah, and then the edge was also cool because they had like you know, they all have little glass floors and stuff that you can step on. So yeah, just lots of photo opportunities and just lots of fun things to do in New York.
So south of Manhattan is the financial district, and I do spend a lot of time looking at the markets and stuff, so I was really excited to go down to Wall Street. It's funny because they have the charging bull down there, and there are lineups down the street to rub his balls, so that's obviously really cool. And then as well as the ferries to Ellis Island and Liberty Island for the Statue of Liberty are also right in that area. So we would recommend a full day in that area to do all that stuff.
And there's also the new World Trade Center that has been built there. That's also an observation deck. We didn't go up it, but we did go inside, and we also did have some drinks at the base of it, which was pretty cool at nighttime. The next area is Greenwich Village, and it was actually what I was looking forward to the most. I'm a huge fan of the Friends TV show, and you can actually visit the outside of the apartment building that they always shot whenever they would start the scene or whatever. The coffee shop, but the base of the building is what Central Park is supposed to be, so where everybody would go grab coffee. And also all of these activities that are outside are actually free for the most part, I think. Like the Charging Bull, the Fearless Girl, all that kind of stuff. Those are all just free attractions that you can just see. And then while we were in Greenwich, we also walked over to Washington Park and went and saw the Washington Arch. There's lots of dancers there we saw, and also lots of art, like street art that you can buy, which is really cool. And then actually one of my other favorite parts was going to the Comedy Cellar, because I love stand-up comedy, so it was super cool that we got to go see where a lot of comics actually get their start.
Yeah, the Comedy Cellar was probably one of my favorite things that day. It was a great show. Andrew Schultz was supposed to be there, but he bailed last minute, so...
I was pretty disappointed.
Schultz, if you see this, not cool, dude.
But it was still really good. All the other comics were hilarious, and we had a great time. That will probably take you about a half a day. I think we only spent about a half day in Greenwich. And then another area, if you are a fan of sitcoms, is Tom's Restaurant, which is the outside of Seinfeld.
One of my favorite shows of all time.
That one's a little further away. It's kind of more north, like the northern part of Central Park, like past there. And then we also walked over to the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, which was just a really cool looking building. And church,
the architecture was really cool, and it was really sweet to see some of the older architecture compared to the new skyscraper buildings and stuff like that. I think right across from there we also ate all-you-can-eat sushi, and they had all-you-can-drink beer as well, so that was a cool spot.
It's another half day that we spent there probably.
One other thing New York's obviously famous for is graffiti. You know, the history there goes way back. So we went over to Brooklyn, and there's an area of Brooklyn that's been dedicated to graffiti and street art called the Bushwick Collective. So we walked through and seen a lot of the art. It's really incredible. It was cool. We stopped at a restaurant, and then we walked over to the Brooklyn Bridge.
The Bushwick project probably took us about half a day to do, and it's also free. You can book like a walking tour or a guided tour just to learn a little bit more about the history, but we just kind of went ourselves. And then we walked across the bridge to back to the financial district and kind of hung out there until evening, and then we walked back over the bridge again at nighttime just to get a different feel, and you can kind of see the skyline at night, which was always different.
It's quite the attraction. There's so many people, and there was vendors, street vendors. We bought a lot of our art that you see in the background. We bought that on the Brooklyn Bridge, and it's just like so iconic. Another full day event, the Bronx Zoo, huge place. Also so much fun. We got there probably at like 10:30, 11 in the morning, and yeah, we were there until closing time. So much to see. Obviously, zoos can be a little bit controversial, but you know, it's one of those things that if you're open to it, we had a really good time. It is a full day. If that's your thing, recommend it.
In order for these lovely ladies to keep their wonderful figures, they need to eat over 200 pounds of hay a day, as well as drink over 60 gallons of water. Hello, Happy.
I think that was the only thing that we did in the Bronx, and on the way there was some cool performers on the subway and stuff, so we didn't get any video of it, but it was like it felt like a very New York-y thing to see. The next place is going to be Coney Island. I wanted to go here just because we've heard so much about, I don't know, like I don't even know what
Coney Island is famous, you know, you see it in all the movies, there's tons of movie scenes filmed there, and it's actually at the very end of one of the subway lines, so it takes about 45 minutes on the subway out, and yeah, you go right to the end of the subway line, and yeah, you get off and you go to Coney Island.
And then there's Luna Park there, which it's just like a little theme park. There's tons of games you can play. We got a hot dog. We didn't get a hot dog from the famous Nathan's Hot Dogs, but we did, because it was a lineup, but we ended up getting a different hot dog. Yeah, we walked to the end of the pier. It was just like a nice kind of a beach day out in the sun. And yeah, again, probably a half day, and maybe you can extend it to a full day if you wanted to hang out at Luna Park and ride some of the rides there.
Speaking of rides, the next day what we did was we rented a car and we drove to New Jersey to go to Six Flags. So Six Flags was honestly epic. I've wanted to go to Six Flags my entire life. I used to see it on commercials and stuff when I was a kid, and never had a chance to go. So we rented a car for about, I think it cost us $150 US for the day. We drove out to New Jersey, which took us about 2.5 hours to get from Long Island to New Jersey to Six Flags. We spent the whole day there. The rides were incredible. It was good because it actually opened up just about, I think, 2 weeks before we got there.
Yeah.
So we got lucky with the weather as well. I think the passes cost us $90 each, but that also included like a gold wristband so that we could skip any lines and anything like that. So yeah, it was incredible. One of the things that was there at the time was King Ka is the fastest roller coaster in the world, tallest roller coaster in the world, and it went, what, 240 kilometers an hour?
Something like that, yeah. I was terrified because I'm not like a big like heights ride person, so this ride was tall. Like I didn't know what to expect, but as soon as it started, it was more about the speed, so it was so fun.
You're on the ride for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how fast it is. And you shoot up like 400 feet and come back down all within 30 seconds. It's absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, it's been torn down now, so that's not gonna be something that you'll be able to do if you do go to New York, but.
We got lucky though. We got very lucky. And obviously optional if you only have like a week there, but if you like amusement parks, like definitely recommend.
One thing though is that the highway, we went on the New Jersey Turnpike, I drove, and coming back into the city on Sunday night was absolutely insane. Traffic was crazy, and people do not care. They're cutting you off, so you gotta be an offensive driver.
And confident, yeah. And lastly, we're going to talk about the food. And normally the food would be my most excited topic, I think we both kind of agreed that the food in New York was not as good as we had expected, and maybe we just didn't go to all the right places, but we made, I always make a list of things I want to try, and usually it's something that the city or country is known for. So, we had pizza on the list, we had bagels, pretzels, like
hot dogs.
Oh yeah, hot dogs. We had, I don't know, New York cheesecake, because the word New York is in it, So, I would say my favorite meal was probably a bagel that I did get from a coffee shop. It was amazing. It had avocado, bacon, cream cheese, and the iced coffee I got was really good. But that was probably my favorite thing out of all the other places that we ate at, which, I don't know, it kind of says a lot.
One thing that was incredible was the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
The soup kitchen was incredible, from Seinfeld. If you know, you know. I got the bisque. It was absolutely delicious.
I got the gumbo.
It was really good. Lots of soup for you. Highly recommend it. Yeah.
And it's not by the diner. I think we have it on our map. It's actually like kind of in Midtown and not up by Tom's Restaurant. So don't go to Tom's Restaurant if you're looking for the soup kitchen.
Yeah, super good though. By far my favorite meal. Only regret about the food is that we didn't go back for more soup.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And I also got a black and white cookie because that was also a Seinfeld reference and I didn't know what they were, so I wanted to try it. Other than that, I mean, the food was okay. It was. Maybe you guys have some recommendations for us when we go back next time, because we'll definitely want to go back.
If you know any good food in New York, leave it in the comments that maybe we had missed.
Yeah. So overall, we obviously love New York, but we know it's not, for everyone. Big cities can be a bit overwhelming, and we won't lie, it is expensive. It's not a cheap city to visit, but you will have a blast. I promise.
Yeah, it'll be hard to run out of things to do in New York City, honestly. Yeah. The 10 days were back to back to back, just every single day, just filled with activities and a lot to do.
20,000 steps a day, so.
a lot to do. If cities are your thing and you haven't been to New York, definitely check it out sometime.
Yeah, we've been to a few. We've been to Seattle, we've been to LA, and I would say New York and obviously Vancouver and
Taipei.
Yeah, and New York, I don't know, something about it. Like, I've always wanted to go, and maybe it's just because I watch too many movies or TV shows, but it was really cool to see with our own eyes, and it was pretty much everything we expected it to be, I think. I guess some people might have hesitations for like safety. I don't think we ever felt.
Honestly, we're in subway stations, different parts. We're in Grand Central Station, different places after dark. Mainly in Manhattan after dark, because we were always making our way back to the Ronkonkoma line near evening, and we were always together. So honestly, I don't think there was a time I felt unsafe in New York. As far as people being rude, didn't have any bad experiences. Everyone, as far as our interactions or my interactions, they were all very polite and very kind. If that's something that's also putting you off, maybe give it a chance. So.
If you're gonna go, we recommend staying in Brooklyn for more affordability. Just walk everywhere. Maybe pre-purchase your tickets online. Some things might book up, I'm not really sure, especially the Broadway shows, sometimes they do sell out. Our honest opinion, we really enjoyed it. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
We recommend going to New York if you haven't been. All right guys, well that's it for this one. Hopefully the different format didn't throw you off. Hopefully you still enjoyed it and it was informational enough, and hopefully it's inspired you to go to New York.
And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.